and welcome back to the ToffeeBlues YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. My name's Thomas. I've been gone for about a week now. I'll come back to the news that we are signing yet another player this window. It's been a brilliant window so far, and it seems like it's not quite stopping yet. Apparently, we are linked with Ben Godfrey from Norwich City. Of course, I've brought on Chris Reeve from Talk Norwich City here today. Tell us a bit more about the player. Tell us about the kind of deal that we are going to be getting. So, Chris, thanks for coming on. How are you doing today?
No, absolute pleasure. Love coming on this channel. By far my favourite Everton channel, and I really, really enjoy it. I just want to start by saying well done to you, because you guys have got off to an absolute flyer, and obviously just such an exciting time for Everton fans right now. And what a brilliant way to continue that by signing Ben Godfrey. Look, Ben is a hot prospect. In the England youth ranks, and absolutely has got that latent potential to go to the very top. Highly rated, earmarked by a lot of top football clubs over the last season, certainly. I think really it was from the moment that we won the title in the Championship, with Ben as more or less a mainstay in that team. And I'll go into his strengths in a minute, I'm sure. But yeah, just a very, very impressive young defender, converted into a defender by Daniel Farke. I'm sure you Everton fans would have already found out that. It was really interesting because when we signed him, there was this whole debate around, is he a central defensive midfielder or is he a defender? And Daniel Farke, give him credit where credit's due, from a Norwich City point of view, he's definitely developed him into a defender. And he's done well there. He's done well there in large parts. I think. Look, last season was a really tough season for Norwich. It was obviously our worst in terms of our defending, actually, which is why it's going to be really interesting to see how Ben can perform. I think he's in a very, very astute signing for Everton, though, definitely.
Yeah, and we'll start off there where you mentioned the standout attributes. Of course, we are pretty light at centre half at the moment. Branthwaite's injured. We've only got Michael Keane and Yerry Mina fit. We definitely needed a centre half. For a while, we were looking at Tomori on loan. That seems to have kind of faded away. Frank Lampard clearly fancies him to stay at Chelsea. So, what kind of player are we getting in Ben Godfrey? Well, if the deal goes through, as we think it is probably going.
I think surely it will go through now. Look, Ben is an extremely athletic player, and I'd say that he plays football with his head, and he's got the ability to catch up, if that makes sense. And I think he'll fit in very well. He'll complement your back four nicely. And Ben, yeah, he's switched on. He's a leader, definitely. And I think you would have probably already seen he's very athletic. He's very fast, and that's one of the things that I think really goes for Ben Godfrey is if he makes a mistake, so long as it's on the floor, he's able to get back really, really quickly and help out. And I think in the Premier League he is more than capable. So I think his main kind of strength is his physicality and his pace. I think the area of weakness, to be very honest with you, is his positioning. I think it's poor, and that's only been because of what happened in the Premier League restart. I think, to be honest with you, it's more of a reflection on possibly the Norwich team, but it's something for Carlo Ancelotti and his backroom team to sort out straight away. Is staying in line, staying organised, because Ben got caught out quite a few times last season, and there was many goals that were his mistake. And look, I think it was pretty evident that his relationship with Tim Krul broke down as well, which was probably one of the reasons why that deal to you guys has gone through. But honestly, I don't have a bad word to say about Ben. I think that. As long as Carlo Ancelotti can sort out his positioning, I think that he'll be a top player and will reach the highest heights. And what a great homegrown player to have on your books in Ben Godfrey. Definitely. I think Norwich have got a fair amount of money for him. I think you could have probably paid 30 plus add-ons, but looks like the rumoured fee is to be 25 plus add-ons. And I think that'll be excellent business for Everton. For the next 2-3 seasons, I think you'll really see him flourish. I'm not sure how quick he's going to be able to hit the ground running, But when you're coming into a team like Everton at the moment, you know, James Rodriguez, I mean, the list goes on. It's just, yeah, and I think he'll thrive. I think he's a confidence player. And yeah, as I said already, I think his physicality will serve him well with Everton. I think the Everton fans will really like him because, you know, he doesn't take any nonsense. You know, he's quite fierce. I'm completely scared of him, which is why I'm not slagging him off too much. And honestly, you've signed a great player. Rio Ferdinand's his agent, which is worth bearing in mind when Manchester United come calling in a couple of seasons. But apart from that, enjoy him and thanks for the money.
Yeah, so I think Rio Ferdinand's Mason Holgate's agent as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a couple of centre halves there, and clearly Ancelotti's very keen. You mentioned him a few times. We know he can turn, you know, players. He can take them to the next level. He's clearly very keen on him. So is this just a good move now? Because we spoke just before we started recording about your position now, the transfer window. Bit of a tricky one to be in. Obviously, a couple of players not wanting to leave now. Players like Buendia, and that's the main name, I guess. Obviously, Godfrey. Aaron's is linked with Barcelona, bit of a crazy rumour. So is this now just a good move for all parties at this point in time?
Yeah, I think so. As I say, like, to be honest with you, my completely honest opinion is that it was the right time for Ben to move on. I think there's they call it the boy band at Norwich, right? And this is what Todd Cantwell said when he came on our podcast. They've got a boy band, right, which was Todd Cantwell, Jamal Lewis, Ben Godfrey, and Max Aarons. Now, Jamal Lewis has gone to Newcastle. Ben Godfrey is probably going to go to Everton. So that boy band has been broken up at Norwich, which is a little bit sad to see, but I think it feels right. I think there were a lot of scars after the Premier League restart, and I think that it. Yeah, as I say, I can't emphasise it enough. I think it's a good deal for all parties, definitely. And Norwich City need that money. You know, we haven't got a rich owner. Delia's down to her last peanuts. We're a self-sustaining football club. We have to self-fund, and so, you know, the main way that we keep going as a football club is to sell our young prospects. Some Norwich fans don't like that, but the reality is, a football club that's in our position with our ownership in the current economic climate, the Ben Godfrey sale, it gets us out of a COVID hole, and it puts us in a really strong position going into certainly the next season and a half to 2 seasons. And I think that we can use that money really wisely. But you're not interested in that. But what Everton fans will be interested in is, as I say, you know, Ben's ability. You know, he has got everything it can take to go to the top, definitely.
Yeah, and then kind of looking at our centre halves now, of course, we are signing them probably because we do have a bit of an injury crisis. As I mentioned, we've got 2 fit centre backs at the moment, Michael Keane and Yerry Mina. We know Mina is sometimes injured. Michael Keane, actually, he's done very well kind of since the restart. Looked much better than he had in previous seasons. But I mean, I'm going to ask you now if he's immediately a starter. It might not take that much because we could get one more injury and he walks straight into the side. But are you looking that he might start straight away, or it might take some time to kind of gel?
You're not going to want to hear this, but I don't think he's ready to start for Everton straight away. But that's because it's not just Ben. I think any Norwich player that played in that Premier League restart, that got their asses pounded over and over again, you know, consistently by every single team we played against. And I think that it would have hurt not just Ben, the whole of the Norwich team. And so, look, I think that Ben needs to embed himself in and around that squad. I think he'll be chomping at the bit to start, of course, and he'll want to. And yes, he can do a job, but as I've already highlighted, I think that his weakness in terms of his positioning needs development, and therefore he'll need a little bit of time to settle in.
Yeah, and you spoke about his versatility as well. Obviously, when he came in, he was regarded as a bit of a defensive midfielder. From what I've seen, he can play on the left and right. I'm not sure which is preferred foot, but is that like a serious part of his game? He is a very versatile player that can offer different options.
Yeah, I think so. And the most exciting time watching Ben was in the Championship when we won the title, and what Ben would do really, really well. And you'll see this at Everton, particularly because of just how offensive you are and how you take the game to the opposition. What I love about watching Ben Godfrey, picks up the ball and he drives it forwards. That's the best of Ben Godfrey. Not when the ball is coming over his head and you're like, oh, God, is he going to get there? Is he worked out? Is he not? And I think... So yeah, I think that, yeah, he's extremely versatile, definitely. He can play in midfield if you guys need it, although you definitely won't. But as I said, I think that if you need to go and win a football match, and if you need to go and take the game to the opposition, Ben has again got the correct attribute to do that. He picks the ball up, he drives the ball forwards. He's not afraid to make a forward pass as well. I know that sounds almost quite basic, but you see a lot of defenders these days focusing on tippy-tappy sideways, quite negative possession play, in my opinion. Whereas Ben is quite comfortable getting his head up and looking for a James, and I think that's a real good kind of opportunity for Everton to utilise.
Yeah, and just kind of round off now. Is he left, right footed? I'm actually not entirely sure which foot he is.
Do you know what? I would say both. I would say both. Wow. I would, and I think that again he is a versatile player. He is a versatile player, and it's quite strange. This is actually a really nice interview for me because I spent the back end of last season really not happy with Ben. But looking back and zooming out on who Ben is and what he does for a team now, he is just so versatile. And as I say, I think he'll fit seamlessly into the Everton team. I think that, look, when a massive club like Everton come calling, I think it's extremely hard to turn that down. And I think that he'll play out of his skin when he's put in that team. And I'm really excited for him. Really, I am. And also something that we haven't mentioned is this is massive for York City as well, who of course Norwich signed him from. They've got a sell-on clause in there, so I think they'll be picking up 2.5 million from the deal as well. So Everton have more or less saved York from going bankrupt, probably, and also you've massively helped out Norwich as well. So yeah, as I say, it is literally a very good deal for all parties. To be honest with you, I'm okay with Ben leaving because we've got the backup there. I don't feel particularly heartbroken that he's left, but maybe that's because I'm still hurting from being relegated. I think he'll do great at Everton, and you've got a very, very good signing on your hands.
Yeah, seems like very good young talent, a lot of raw talent that obviously Ancelotti's definitely got the ability to turn him into a brilliant player, and I'm very excited to see him. Obviously, if it happens, we've still got to say that it is, of course, speculation, but it seems like it is a matter of time. Sounds like a medical might be today. At the time we're recording, it's 4:15 on the Friday, 1:15 on the Friday. Nothing's happened yet, but it seems like a matter of time. It seems to have happened very quickly, and this deal kind of broke out maybe a few days ago. Sounded like some bids went back and forth. Everything seems agreed now, 25 million plus add-ons. Everton looked to be signing Ben Godfrey, and just had a brilliant insight there into the player. So thank you. Sorry, you got something?
Another really good thing is that I think if it's true, which hopefully it is, and I really, really respect Everton for this, if that's the case, thank you, because we need the money. Apparently you guys have paid the full 25 million up front as well, which is quite rare in football these days. Yeah. And obviously, like Harry Maguire is one where that was like the full 50 up front, and obviously Ben is rumoured that full 25 up front. So thank you, Everton. If that's the case, you've really helped Norwich big time.
Yeah, so there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Chris, for joining us yet again. Obviously, sadly, we won't be on any opposition views this season, but hopefully next season we'll get you back on. Norwich get back up to the Premier League. So thank you all very much for watching. Check out everyone's social media in the description down below. Let us know your thoughts in the comments about Ben Godfrey. Are you excited? Very good young talent, 25 million as I mentioned. We needed to cover at centre-half. We've definitely got that here, and potentially a very good player for us in the end. So thank you very much for watching, and join us next time on the Toffee Blues.